Which side of my face do you think looks more appealing? Hi everyone, I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. Welcome to my channel. If the sides of my face look a little different today, it's because I am doing a battle of the contour palettes. Yes, I am comparing the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette side by side, same face. And we're gonna see once and for all which one of these palettes is the best. So if you wanna see which one of these you should invest in, then just keep watching. So this side of my face is going to be the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and this side of my face is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. Why? No idea. That's just what I'm doing. I think I will start with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. As you can see, this palette is really nice because it comes with a mirror, which is always appreciated. The contour kit does not, which is kind of a bummer, but we can live with it. For the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, you've got 3 darker shades down here, and you've got the 3 highlighting shades up here. One of the downfalls, of course, of buying a palette is there are going to be shades in it that you're not going to use. So I believe I'm going to start with this shade right here, which I believe is called Subconscious. I do know that these colors are very pigmented. I'm actually gonna brush off some of the color because I can always add, but I can't subtract. I have a whole video all about how I contour my face for those of you that want to be slimmer. I don't really do my forehead because my forehead is so narrow, but I do my chin because I have a wide jaw, and I like to do under my chin just to be slimming. I normally don't contour my nose, but for the purpose of this video, I feel like I'm gonna go all out, and I'm gonna take the same shade because that tends to be the coolest shade, and I always contour with the coolest shade I can find. I don't mean cool like, hey, cool man. I mean like cool toned. You got it, I'm sure. And I'm going to kind of lightly, because on me, I find that contouring my nose can look really obvious really quickly. Gonna go in and blend that out a little bit. Then I'm gonna take, which I don't usually use a bronzer all that much, but I watched the Kat Von D video on her website about this palette. I did that for both this and I did that for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, just to kind of get a sense of like how they think we should be using the palettes. She emphasized that sort of the warmer shade was to warm up your skin a little bit, so I'm thinking this is kind of more like a bronzer. I'm just gonna take this, even though I don't usually use a bronzer that much, I'm going to take it and just kind of use it like I would a bronzer and kind of, you know, just warm up the areas of the face that would be naturally hit with the sun. Next, I'm going to go in, I think, with this yellow shade right here, which I believe is called Lyric. And this I'm going to go under my eye with. And since there isn't a shimmer in here, I'm gonna take the shade right here, Levitation, and I'm gonna use that kind of as my highlighter. So I'm gonna brush that anywhere I would normally brush a highlighter. Kind of hard to do the center of the nose like just on this side. Try not to get it on the other side. Obviously it wouldn't be a challenge if you were just normally doing your makeup. And I'm gonna take sometimes I like to do this if I'm really spending a lot of time on my makeup, and just kind of do this area between my cheek contour and my chin just to sculpt it out a little bit, which I don't always do when I'm highlighting. This is just when I'm really taking the time to like really sculpt. And I'm just gonna kind of blend everything together. Make sure there's no harsh lines. The last thing I'm gonna do, which I'm gonna do on both sides because neither one of these has like a blush color, I'm just gonna go in with a Tarte Amazonian Clay 24-Hour Blush in Exposed. It's just kind of a go with everything color. Now on to my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I'm gonna go in with Fawn, which is the center shade right here, which is probably the best contour shade, at least for my skin tone. the same shade, I'm gonna go in and sculpt my jaw right here, and I'm gonna go in to my chin. To keep things even, I'm going to do my nose. And then I'm gonna go in with this center shade. This is the banana shade. I'm going to kind of do what I did on the other side with the yellow shade and under the eye. I'm gonna take this sort of, I call it a vanilla shade? Oh yes, vanilla shade. I'm going to brush this. I can actually highlight because there is actually a shimmer shade in here, but I'm just gonna kind of go over it in any of the places that I would highlight with the vanilla shade. I didn't actually use a bronzer on this side like I did on this side because, I mean, I could technically with this, but I can use a shimmer here. So I'm gonna have more of the bronzer on this side, the shimmer on this side. I don't know why that makes it even in my mind, but for some reason it does. Then I'm gonna go in with the shimmer shade because this one has a shimmer, which I don't use all that often, to be honest, because I have so many other highlighters. It's called Sand. It is a really nice highlighter too. I don't know why I don't use it more often. Just gonna do a little bit of blending, make sure everything is in place. And of course, to keep the sides relatively even, I'm going to go back in with my Tarte blush. So overall, looking at it, this is the Shade and Light side. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour side. I mean, they're pretty close, I gotta say. So the Shade and Light contour palette goes for, at Sephora, $46. And the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit goes for, at Sephora, $40. So there's only a $6 difference, which is probably the price of the mirror in this one. So they're a very close price point, obviously. I don't know, which I'd have to look it up, but I don't know if you can refill the Kat Von D. It doesn't look like you can, which is something I'm not positive about, but it doesn't look like you can. Whereas the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, you can pop these out and refill them, which is nice if you go through one shade a lot more than the other. The other major difference, I would say, in these two kits, they're very similar as far as or sort of vanilla peachy pink highlighter shade, which I like, I think, equally well on both of them. They're very similar. And their yellow sort of banana shade, brighter on the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Some people like the brightness of the yellow shade if they like to bake or do that, like, you know, using yellow powder under their eyes, which a lot of people like to do. Personally, I'm really picky about under eye powders because they can look really cakey really easily. I want to give the edge a little bit in formula to the yellow shade on the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I don't know, I just feel like it sits under the eye a little bit nicer, whereas the Kat Von D is a little bit cakier. For me personally, because of my skin tone really, I don't really get a lot of use out of this salmony color because it's just a little bit too deep and dark for my skin. Personally, I would kind of like a shimmer shade here just to mix it up, whether I used it or not. To me, it would make it a little bit more of a complete palette. So I like the Anastasia Beverly Hills comes with this shimmer shade here, which I don't use very often, but I do feel like if you're, again, a beginner that wants a complete kit, it's a nice thing to have. I also think it's a great thing for travel. That way you have like everything in one package. And I don't really know why I don't use it more often because it is actually a very nice shimmer. So I do really like it. As far as your contour shades, I'm actually surprised. Looking at myself, I'm leaning towards liking the way that the Kat Von D applied and went on a little bit more, which surprised me because I thought that the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour shade was it for me. So looking at them actually side by side, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Kat Von D as far as the contour shade. So which one do I recommend? I really didn't expect it to be this close because I had sort of fallen in love with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I did a whole like palette collection where I suggested which palette I thought would be good for holiday gifts. I can link that video to this one. And I recommended this one over this one. But now that I'm looking at them side by side, it's much closer than I thought. I feel like if you are a beginner to makeup or you're giving a gift or you're looking for something for travel, I feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills is going to be a more complete kit because again, it has the shimmer shade in it, and I do feel like I like the formula of the highlighters a little bit more. The only thing is that the Kat Von D would be a little bit better for travel because it has a mirror. Is more for your advanced makeup people. I feel like it's a great kit. I am loving the contour shade a lot more than I anticipated. I do like the formula of the highlighter, this sort of lighter shade right here, which is Levitation. I'm not really liking the yellow for under the eyes. This formula just doesn't really work as well for me. This was a decent bronzer. I didn't go very heavy because I don't tend to use a lot of bronzers. So I feel like if you're a more advanced makeup person, say you have tons of highlighters, you don't need a lot more highlighters, you're more comfortable with contouring and you want something that's more intense and more defined, then I feel like this could be a nice kit for you. I mean, I definitely think packaging wise, the edge has got to go to the Kat Von D. As far as being a complete palette and maybe a little bit more user friendly and better for beginners, I would go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So that's my opinion. Honestly, I think it's personal preference. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know which one you like better. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and be sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time. Today, we have the Battle of the Brighteners. That's battled, apparently. I actually am comparing the YSL Touche Eclat Radiant Touch with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. Reading the foreign language one, that's why I can't. Everyday Starlet, the part in English.